Get ready to dive into the comic book realm where heroes rise and villains take the helm. We're here to dissect the stories and the art. On source material, we tear the panels apart.
Let's get into Vader Down. This was a total of 6 issues, starting with Vader Down number 1, Darth Vader 13, 14, and 15, and Star Wars issues 13 and 14. The Vader Down storyline is a high-stakes crossover event that begins with Darth Vader entering the fray over the remote planet Vrogus Voss. Hoping to find Luke Skywalker, Vader instead collides headlong with an overwhelming rebel fleet. Now, mind you, this isn't in the synopsis, I don't think, but Afra said Vrogus Voss. He's like, okay, I'm heading there. And then when he gets there, he is right smack dab in front of a bunch of X-Wings.
He gets shot down over this planet.
Undeterred by the odds, he tears through their forces with terrifying precision until a desperate Luke. It's Luke who senses his presence and also, well, actually, people probably told him, holy crap, it's Darth Vader. He rams his X-Wing into Darth Vader's tie. They collide.
Luke is the best character because he's kind of a dope, but he's like a fearless dope, which is the worst kind of dope, but also the most awesome kind of dope because he's just like, there's nothing I can do, and Vader's a huge threat. Ramming speed.
I'm taking him down.
What is wrong with you?
He is going down right now. Yeah. I'm ending this now, sending both of them spiraling towards the planet below. The rebels scramble ground troops to eliminate Vader once and for all, believing they have the upper hand. What follows is anything but a rebel victory. Vader survives the crash and proceeds to annihilate squadron after squadron, wielding the Force with lethal mastery. He's soon surrounded by an army, but responds with a line that defines this arc. All I am surrounded by is fear and dead men. Meanwhile, Leia, Han, and Chewbacca join the pursuit, although personal motives like Han's concern for Luke complicate the mission. Vader's secret ally, Dr. Aphra, races to assist, bringing along her sadistic droids, 000 and BT-1, who gleefully torture and torment anyone in their path. Luke explores ancient Jedi ruins on Vrogus Voss and begins to connect with the Force on a deeper level until Aphra ambushes and captures him. Han and Chewbacca arrive just in time to mount a rescue, leading to chaotic battles with Aphra, her droids, and even a swarm of wasp worms. Amid the chaos, Leia spearheads a desperate assault to end Vader once and for all, willing to sacrifice herself. But just as her fleet closes in, unexpected TIE fighter reinforcements arrive, not summoned by Vader, but by Carbon, the rival Imperial cyborg with his own designs on seizing power and claiming Luke. As Vader and Carbon clash in a dramatic lightsaber duel, stormtroopers attempt to abduct Luke, forcing the rebels to regroup again. 000 and BT-1 switch allegiances once more to assist Aphra and switch allegiances, but they're helping Aphra in retrieving Luke, turning their guns on Carbon's forces. Eventually, Vader defeats Carbon in brutal fashion, reasserting his dominance. Aphra, attempting to curry favor, helps destroy Carbon's remaining forces, yet the battle isn't over. Luke is captured again, only for Vader to tear the shuttle back down to the surface using the Force, unwilling to lose his son. In the final act, alliance's fray and desperation peaks. Aphra tries to leverage the heroes for her own protection, only to be knocked out and taken prisoner by Leia. With the Falcon repaired and the team reunited, they flee Voss, leaving behind the ruins of a Jedi temple and the ominous figure of Vader watching silently as his son escapes once more. The story closes with a powerful sense of unresolved tension. Vader's pursuit continues. Luke's questions linger, and the war grinds on, bloodier and more personal than ever. This was a great story. I like this story a lot. Yeah. And I think this has the moment, it's in the synopsis, that it defines why I like this series. And that is Vader surrounded by all of those rebel troops, and they all have their guns trained on them. I sent that picture to Caleb, but Caleb immediately comes back, and you probably heard this term. He immediately sends back one word: aura. I was like, yep, Vader does have the aura. And the fact that we have no idea what's really going on in the Star Wars book, other than these two are kind of crossing over at this moment. And there's that moment where Vader is just so close, but then Luke gets away. and watching all of our characters mix it up with our heroes from the films that we know and love that we really didn't get in here. It's all been kind of villains and some familiar faces every once in a while, like Boba Fett and Darth Vader, obviously. But yeah, our heroes show up here and they're mingling, and we got Han Solo, we got Leia, we got Chewbacca and Black Chrysanthemum go at it. The droids face each other, which is funny. There's some good moments in here, but I'll go ahead and step back. What are your thoughts?
I really like this crossover. It's an elevator pitch. What if Darth Vader were to crash land on a rebel base and he's surrounded by a planet full of rebels? What would you do? This also leads to one of my major problems with the Darth Vader character post Disney Lucasfilm purchase.
Way back
to Star Tours. I know you've never left your house.
Nope.
Okay. So you've never been on the Star Tours ride.
Never been on the Star Tours, but I heard of it.
So it's a simulator, right? You sit in individual seats, and it's like, like 6 or 7 across per simulator, and there's a couple of different simulator rooms. And it used to be that you go to different planets, and it's always a different planet with each time you ride it. But the beginning is always the same. You're going on a vacation, then Darth Vader shows up with the stormtroopers, and there's a rebel, because one of the tourists on the ride is a rebel spy. Darth Vader is commandeering your ship, and the Star Tours astromech guy is trying to get away from Darth Vader. That's the whole ride.
Okay.
But it starts with them trying to get away from Darth Vader, and Darth Vader grabs you and shakes you a bit, and you're trying to pull away. And that's the first time they really overpowered Darth Vader. If he had that kind of power in Star Wars, A New Hope, I don't understand why he didn't throw Obi-Wan Kenobi out of a wall.
Right.
Like, if you have enough power that you can hold a spaceship, do you know how much rocket power you need to launch a spaceship, Jesse? A lot. Quite a bit. And this motherfucker could just hold you with his mind, like, yeah, okay. In that case, why are you having such an old time with old rickety fucking Alec Guinness? I was like, he's a Jedi, and if you strike him down, he'll become more. Get the fuck out of here. But I'll tell you where this whole Star Wars thing really lost me. The Acolyte. It lost me well before the Acolyte. Where I finally threw my hands up, it was myself, Ronnie Adams of the Screaming Boy podcast, and David. And we were talking Obi-Wan Kenobi. They ended the Obi-Wan Kenobi series with them throwing mountains at each other.
Oh, I remember you talking about. See, I've never seen the series, but I remember you saying that, and I was like, "What?"
They are picking up giant chunks of a mountain and chucking them at each other. Like when Thanos throws a planet at Tony Stark, he does it once, and it has considerable impact. And oh, by the way, he had a god glove. Right. Like, I accepted it from Thanos the one time, right? But, like, these motherfuckers are just hardcore throwing chunks of mountain at each other. And I'm like, if you're that powerful, how does anyone deal with you? Why are you at all conquerable? And you know what I'm talking about because you read comic books. You have a comic book podcast from what I understand.
Right.
Okay, so you've heard the two words before. They did not open for Metallica in 1989 at the Nassau Coliseum. That word is power creep.
Mm-hmm.
Where you get so powerful over an extended amount of time that by the end of it, there's no dramatic tension anymore. There's no way you can be stopped. Right. And you have to do mental gymnastics in order to come up with a way to stop somebody that powerful to the point where your whole story loses credulity. That's my biggest problem with Vader Down. I think it's an awesome story if this wasn't the same guy who can throw mountains and hold spaceships.
You can make a wrestling analogy as well. When people start kicking out of finishers, all of a sudden,
I hit you with a Canadian destroyer, the Canadian destroyer off the top of a Hell in the Cell into an ordinary drinking glass. Observe.
Two.
Like a full kip up. Let's go, motherfucker.
Things start to lose their credibility and believability when that starts happening.
Vader Down's a really fun story with no dramatic tension. There's no way Vader gets out of this. You know, like that scene from Rogue One that everyone loves is a great scene because the last time you saw Darth Vader, this is image rehabilitation, which is why I like it so much.
You're right.
But it's also just a bunch of soldiers in a hallway. and he's just throwing them everywhere. His ability to deflect lasers is this weird power thing to give all the Jedis. I don't understand why anyone shoots Jedis anymore.
Don't shoot. Don't waste your bullets.
They'd have had an easier time punching him. They just dogpile to Darth Vader. Do something. He can't stop us all. Like that kind of thing. Just, why are you shooting him? He can deflect everything. So make him squeal. So let's finish the one.
No!
No! The one thing that can't protect me from economy.
Oh, jeez.
Not enforceable by law. Anyway, anywho, moving on. My point is, I like Vader's storyline, the Vader Down storyline. I like the setup, a premise of it, and some of the character interactions. Like the stuff with Han's really funny.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about what a fucking cunt Princess Leia is? By the way,
okay.
I think just Luke's in trouble. We should go get him. Han says to Leia, and Leia's like, "We have bigger concerns. Okay, the whole rebellion to take care of. The hero of the rebellion, the guy who blew up the Death Star. He's not even a little important to you." Does it seem like they wrote her as a little too callous?
I can see where you're coming from there. I mean, she does end up getting involved, at least.
By force.
Yeah, she has to go down there. Yeah.
But they make Han a little too virtual signally, and they make Leia a little too cunty. I'm not wild about the way their characters were handled.
I don't know about Han. I don't know what threw me off. There wasn't really anything that threw me off.
My interpretation of Han in this book is he is madly in love with Luke Skywalker. This is the most important thing ever. It stood out to me because Leia was so awful about it.
Well, I was going to say, that happens right at the beginning of Empire, too. He's got to go out and find Luke. And, of course, he finds him after the snow monster attacked him.
I think it made a little bit more sense to me, and it didn't feel as much like Han was in love with Luke. It's dark. It's an ice planet. He's freeze to death. There's a good chance, even if he's not already dead, he'll be dead by morning. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I've got my favorite moments in this. I already talked about the
to your point, it feels like the writers misunderstood it and just did their own take on it.
And then and amped it up a little bit.
It's like somebody doing a metal song of a Simon and Garfunkel song. Or covering a Simon and Garfunkel. It's like, at the zoo, like, all right, let's get Five-Finger Death Punch into here. At the zoo. Like, the fuck, it doesn't need to be that heavy.
Right.
So many Simon and Garfunkel songs I could have done for that bit. I went with At the Zoo.
Perfect.
Could have done I Am a Rock, I Am an Island. Could have done, so many other Simon and Garfunkel songs, Jesse.
Well, you wouldn't have registered on my dial one way or the other, because I don't know too many Simon and Garfunkel songs at all.
Should we do like a Metal Hammer of Doom jukebox one day?
That sounds like it fits perfectly for that show. The favorite moments here. There is the meeting of the droids.
Yeah.
Where R2 meets up with BT1 and R2 does his little, his little shock thing. Like he's going to try and threaten BT1.
Yeah, it's a Crocodile Dundee moment. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Guns. These machine guns come out of this thing.
That was a quality comedy moment.
Yeah. And then R2 is just astromeching his ass on out of there.
I believe R2 went yoinks and down.
One of the things that always is funny about R2, there's another moment in here that you kind of see this through the films as well. R2 is always known as a foul mouth. You can't understand a word he says.
R2D2 is from Baltimore.
That's
R2D2 is like, Money Be Green.
I think it's 000 is like, oh my gosh, you have a foul mouth. It's like, that was pretty funny.
R2D2, what do you think about this? It's like, ain't no thing.
Oh, R2.
R2, how do you feel about this situation? Fuck your mother. That's how I feel about the situation. Oh, my stars and goddess.
Then we have Afra versus Han, where they're shooting at each other and the wasp worms are above each other's heads. Yes. They get them on themselves, running frantically and run into each other and knock each other out, which is like...
The editor was giving out this assignment with the aesthetic Benny Hill.
I know, dude. I was laughing. I was like, this is fun stuff.
Like Flash Gordon, the princess.
We have a moment where there's Vader versus Leia, where she's about ready to sacrifice herself. She's just like telling her fleet to drop the bombs on her and Vader at the same time, which was pretty cool.
Vader Down does a really good job of reminding you that war is a very serious thing and people have to make sacrifices.
Yeah,
like I've been joking. I think there's an undercurrent of that they know the seriousness of what they're involved with and what the stakes are. And if they have to blow themselves in order to take out Vader, then the ends justify the means. And I think that's an interesting take for this book.
That's kind of all I have here. I mean, we get the Wookiee brawl here where it's Chrysanthemum versus Chewbacca. Chewbacca's weakened by some kind of neurotoxin that 000 hit him with. And then C-3PO losing his arms to 000 was pretty funny because 000 gets his arms ripped off by Chewbacca. And then later on down the line, 000 runs into C-3PO. And C-3PO, he's just, he's a poor little wet rag. And essentially like, oh, what do you need? And they're like, oh, we'll take your arms. So 000 is now walking with golden arms, which is pretty cool. That's kind of all I have here. I really did enjoy Vader Down. I thought it was all right. You got anything else there?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. All of this would not be possible without W2Mnet.com, so make sure to seek them out for more podcasts. If you enjoyed what you heard today, please feel free to share, and we look forward to entertaining you again soon.